Today I'm going to tell you 7 essential things that you need to have to make your range trips as awesome as possible. Whether you just bought your first gun ever or you've actually been doing this for a long time, I'm going to tell you things that you absolutely need to get you started, things that maybe you want to condense down to or whatever. These are things that you are going to want to have to make these trips as stress-free as possible. And if you don't go to the range and have a good time, first of all, I would question why, but I do also understand that not having the tools you need can be super frustrating. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of options in each one of my categories and tell you some things more on the budget side, some things that haven't worked so well, and some things that have worked amazing for me to give you an idea of why I choose the things that I do. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First thing I'm going to talk about is protecting your ears. This is something crucial. I don't care if you're shooting outside with your own land or if you're shooting indoors, but you definitely want to have a good set of hearing protection. I have tried a wide range of hearing protection over the years. Everything from these electronic muffs, super low profile muff, by the way, you know, a lot better than the big wide ones, especially when you're rifle shooting and you're trying to get your head down on the stock and everything else, and it's kind of annoying, to the molded ones that I use now, to the little ones that you kind of twist and throw in your ear. I've tried the Hickok 45 ones, which are Howard Leeds as well, but they kind of wrap around your neck. They stay there and you just kind of plug them in as you go. And the best ones I found were actually kind of randomly. I was at a Sportsman's Warehouse and I was looking around and I saw those and I was like, man, this might actually be what I was looking for, right? So they have a little thin string to connect both of them. You can hang them around your neck when they're not needed. But basically all you do is you heat them up, you mold them in your ear, you take them out. They got a little stem so you can put the little polyurethane or whatever kind of ear protection on it, or they even give you the little foam ones that expand, you know, after they sit in there for a while, but they are the least intrusive. I can shoot rifles, pistols, whatever, all day long and be super comfortable while doing it. But regardless of what you choose, a good set of hearing protection is a must, even if you have no plans of going to the range right now, which I don't know why you would not want to go to the range, but any gun owner needs a set of good hearing protection. Have you ever heard a 5.56 go off? Imagine that times probably 25 inside of your home. If you ever have to do that, I mean, I would rather do that and live and have some hearing damage, obviously, but hearing protection is a must for every gun owner. Next thing we're going to talk about is, where the heck did I put them? A good set of shooting glasses, eye protection. This is something, again, you absolutely need. Now, if you wear prescription glasses, they have little shields that you can put on the side, temporary or whatever, and you know, those will protect you from brass coming back into your eye. Brass is super hot. You can ask Miss Headshot about wearing low-cut shirts at the range too, by the way, and her experience with that. Hot brass, hot brass, hot brass.
That's going to lead to a little bit of slide wear on from any hole.
And that didn't feel too good. And yes, I did chuckle because she asked me, hey, do you think this shirt's okay? I told her no, and she decided she was going to wear it anyway. So yes, I did chuckle a little bit at her after that happened. And it's happened to her several times. But imagine that hot brass on your eye. That's something nobody wants. And so a good set of glasses is needed. Now, what you want to look for in a good set of glasses is something that is ballistic rated, something that can withstand the impact from a shell. Sometimes things happen that are just crazy, and ejection of shells is no different. So you want something that's rated for that, that's not going to shatter in your face. I also prefer a wider band like these Core Essentials Recon glasses. These things are amazing. A lot of different features on them actually, but this wide band, whenever you put these in, no matter what kind of muffs you're using, over the ear or in ear, especially the over ear, they tend to push in on your head, obviously. Well, if you have a thin, kind of thin band right here, that's gonna push into the sides and the back of your head, right behind your ear, and it is super uncomfortable. Especially the ones that kind of hook in towards the back of them. Those are the worst. So something with a wide band works the best. Like I said, these are also polarized, scratch resistant, dust resistant, whatever, all that kind of stuff. These things are amazing. And they have these smart locking magnets. So they're neo locking smart magnets or whatever. But basically, the smart part of it is the magnetic field is always pointing outwards. So they're safe to wear. My mic on too. I need to not clip that, but whenever you want to clip them to your shirt, they're not going to go anywhere. Say you want to clip it to that part of your shirt. Well, there you go. You can do that. And it's not going to go anywhere. So it's actually pretty cool. And they give you a Velcro strap so you can put this around your sun visor. It has the same magnets. So whenever you get it around your sun visor, you can trim the excess. Boom, you can have them hanging up in your truck just like that. Or if you want, they have a little cup holder, little thing just like that, right? So you can put it in there so they're always protected. This is a fantastic option if you want something comfortable that's going to protect your eyes. Those are ballistic rated too. A lot of times what I've been doing too is I've been wearing my prescription aviators, right? Because I have to wear glasses or contacts. This is a really good option. Now, I don't have the side shields like I've been recommending, but the aviators go up far enough and they're low enough to where I feel really secure with these on my head. Are they ballistic rated? No, they're not. So I broke literally one of my rules that I just said. What would be ideal for me is to have my prescription lens in those core essential glasses right there. That would be the ideal thing for me personally, but you're just gonna have to experiment. If your eyes are good, then all the options are open there to you. But if you need to wear glasses and stuff, you're gonna wanna take some extra precaution. Just make sure brass can't get in there to affect your eyes. I'm gonna leave a link and a discount code to those glasses too, by the way. If you wanna pick them up, you can do that with a discount through my channel, which is pretty cool. Get yourself a good set of glasses and hearing protection. That is crucial must-haves, no questions asked about those. Hey, if you're enjoying the video so far, consider subscribing down below and hit the bell. That way you get notified every time I put out a new video, which that is 2 videos a week now, and coming in the next year, 3 videos a week. Rifles, pistols, concealed carry, everything gun related right here for you. I'm also looking for ideas and suggestions on what I can do to make my Patreon page and tiers a better option for you. We have a small group of dedicated, awesome fans that have been there for a long time, and now I want to grow that community there as well so we can continue to make awesome and better videos right here. Please, if you don't even want to join, just click the link, go over there, check it out, come back here, say, hey, maybe do X, Y, and Z, which would be a better option. Just looking to really grow that because it doesn't take a lot. $1 a month from a lot of people really helps a ton. Love to hear those suggestions as well. Now let's get back to the rest of the video. So if you've ever loaded 500 rounds in a single range trip with nothing more than your thumb and your support hand, then you know how crucial this next range item is, and that is an assist loader. This is something you absolutely need. I can assure you, you do not want to load a ton of rounds just using your fingers. It really starts to suck after 100 rounds. So if this is something you are serious about and you want to shoot a lot and practice and all that kind of stuff, having one of these is crucial. Now the only brand I really use is Uplula. Their Maglula stuff is fantastic, dude. I have 3 of these now and they are great. And you can get them for a multitude of different calibers and stuff, which I recommend. But there's also other ways to do this. There's some quick loaders, which honestly for me, that would be such a time saver. That's something I probably really need to invest in, to be honest with you. It just depends on how much you shoot, but at very minimum, an assist loader. Now, a lot of the guns that you buy actually come with them, so fine. If that's all you got, then use that. But you're gonna want an assist loader not only to save your time and save your freaking fingers, but it could also start to build tension in your hands, which could affect your shooting, which again, it's an hour and a half drive one way for me to the range, I want to utilize as much time as possible, and loading magazines and then having tension build in my hands because I'm loading and loading and loading is not something I want. You want to maximize that time and be the sharpest that you can be while you're there. Buy one of these. It is such an amazing investment. You will not regret this purchase right here. Next thing I'm going to talk about is some kind of a toolkit, some kind of a screwdriver or Torx bit kit specifically. If you have optics and things like that, things need to be adjusted, you want to have some kind of kit. Now I picked this kit up at Lowe's. This thing actually really sucks. I bought this, it has a magnetic drive, right? And it's kind of got the ratchet part of it right here, right? So whenever you turn, you know, it gives you some assistance there, but it actually has a magnet that goes on the end of the bit. Actually, it doesn't go on the end of the bit. It's supposed to stay on the inside of here, and I don't know, maybe twice of pulling it in and out, the magnet actually came out, and now the magnet's gone. Now, the only reason I bought that crappy kit from Lowe's is because I needed something in a pinch, and I need to replace my wheeler kit. I have lost a bunch of the bits and stuff, been pretty careless with it. I've had it for, God, 7 years or something, so I need to replace it. But as opposed to just having different size bits, they actually have different width bits as well. You'll notice that different guns, especially on the flatheads and stuff, they have different sizes to them, and you do not want to strip those out. So they give you a multitude of different options so you can fit the screw exactly so you don't strip them. And also the wheeler kit comes with some specialized tools as well. That's really the way to go. If you're going to get a tool kit, go through Wheeler. I'll leave a link down below and any associated discount that I actually have there as well. So there you go. You can buy them through a discount through my channel, which is exactly what I'm going to do as well, because I need a new Wheeler tool set like this. It's also super useful to have some kind of a punch set. So this one from Wheeler obviously has a variety of punches, but it also has a brass and plastic or polymer tip in. So if you need to pop roll pins out while you're there at the range, or for example, like this G43 magazine. So I had extra magazine springs and the spring was really weak. This is a wartime mag, so I didn't want to ruin it. These magazines are like $300 or $400 each depending on their condition. So what I was able to do is use that plastic end to actually knock the base plate off of the magazine to be able to get to the spring to change it. This is worth its weight in gold, one of these little kits. Speaking of worth its weight in gold, this is another Wheeler kit. This is their torque wrench set, and it's compact enough. It can go into a range bag, goes up to, what, 65 inch-pounds. These just pull right off. They're magnetic. Variety of bits, extension, all that good stuff. But if you need to adjust an optic, you know, if you don't torque it down correctly at the house, whenever you get to the range, or let's say you want to maybe reposition it, maybe you didn't get your eye relief as good as it needs to be, and you don't torque these down to what the manufacturer specification is, then you're out of commission, unless you just want to shoot with iron sights. But if it's loose at all, you're going to be shooting all over the place. Another great investment there to make your range trips as awesome and stress-free as possible. The next thing we're going to talk about is a rest, right? If you're shooting rifles, you want a rest for sight in and probably just to shoot off of, and I can assure you, this is the best one I've found so far. This is the Rock BR from Codwell Shooting, and it is a freaking beast, dude. But it's got 3 points that you can adjust to get it all level. It's got a couple of bag varieties depending on what you're using, what you're shooting. It's got a wheel so you can spin it up and down. Amazing, but that thing does not go anywhere. And I've used a lot of different rest styles, from basic bags to the foam action sports. These things are pretty cheap and they do a good enough job. Whatever you do, just make sure you bring a rest with you so you can get your gun sighted in properly and you can have a stable platform to shoot off of, especially when you start going out to distance. Obviously, if you want to shoot prone, that's a good option too. You're going to want to have a bipod if you don't have a rest or don't want to bring a rest. So a bipod is something you may want to consider, and some kind of a mat that you can lay down on it if you start shooting prone. So now we have a special guest here. This is Ruger, giant schnauzer, almost 3 years old. Amazing dog, by the way. But The next thing you want to have if you're going to be doing any kind of long range shooting is a spotting scope. All right, Ruger's going away. This one right here is a Vortex. This is the, Diamondback HD, 16 to 48 by 65. You know, Vortex, I'm not a huge fan of the stuff that I've used from them, if I'm being honest, from their 1 to 6 by 24 freaking razor that I have to some of the other stuff. I'm not a huge fan, but what I will say is a spotting scope, man, this is gonna save you so much time if you're rifle shooting. That way you can see what the heck you're doing. Now there's other options as well. There's camera setups, so if you have your own land, this is a good option. I showed one from Codwell Shooting a few years ago, and it's actually a target camera. So you connect it to your phone, and you can see your shots as you're hitting them. You can place it as safely as possible to your target so you can see in real time how you're doing with your shots. There's multiple camera setups and all kinds of stuff that you can do, but some way that you can see and extend out to that kind of distance so you can see what the heck you're hitting or not hitting so you can make your adjustments, especially at longer distances. Even at 100 yards, if you're shooting paper, you want to make sure that you're seeing your results on paper so again, you can make those adjustments. A spotting scope is totally something you want. The little tripod that came with this one is absolutely terrible. It's small, it is a piece of junk. Invest in a decent tripod. It doesn't have to be something crazy, but something stable and that will actually stay where you want it. Ideally, you want something that will give you some candid leverage, right? Something that will adjust, kind of like what I have here in front of me, that will allow you to move the scope up and down so you don't always have to kind of drop it, you know, vertically, but you can actually angle it the way that you need it, if that makes sense. So definitely make sure you get a spotting scope and a tripod to mount it to. We're dwindling down to the end here. There's 2 more things I want to tell you about, at least in this video. If this does well and y'all want to see more, frickin' leave some comments down below. Tell me what you want me to put in a part 2. And like I said, if the video does well, I'll do a part 2. But the next thing I'm going to talk about is a staple gun. If you're shooting paper targets and they don't already have adhesive on the back, then here you go, a staple gun. Simple, but something that you will definitely need at some point if you're hanging targets. And the last thing you're gonna need is a good range bag to keep most of this stuff in. I can fit the spotting scope, I can fit everything in here except for the Rock BR rifle rest. But a good range bag. I bought this one pretty much when we first started shooting. At a minimum of what you want is something that will hold pistol magazines, something maybe that'll hold rifle magazines, multiple pockets so you can have maybe your handgun separate from your actual range gear. You know, it just makes it a little bit easier. It's gonna make it super heavy too, by the way. Normally what I've done and what I've started to do is I'll take, you know, just a box and I'll keep my ammo in that box and then I'll keep my range essentials in the bag so I can kind of lighten the load. And then I actually have a pistol case, right? A hard waterproof case where I'll keep my pistols in that. So I keep it even lighter. I used to put just everything in there and that leads to obvious issues of it being A, too heavy, second, getting, you know, scratches and nicks on your guns. That's just unnecessary. Not that I really care about that so much, but at the same time, some of them I don't want scratched to hell and back. So anyways, I found a way to make some of this stuff work better, but you want a good, durable range bag to hold all of this stuff in. So I hope that this list helps you in your journey, man. Wherever you're at in that journey, I'm here to help you. So if you have any questions and you want to hit me up about anything else, I will try to get to those. If you're a channel member or a patron, you guys know that I respond to y'all super quick and easy. If you want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it. Become a channel member or a patron. I really appreciate y'all, man. Big thanks to you guys. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.